Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over a bunch of the stuff that you should know when owning a Gravely 400 series tractor. I've had lots of questions on multiple different tractors and whatnot, so I'm going to start doing some more of these videos here and there on different things to try and help you guys out. I have a few of these Gravely's. I've actually got two 430s, one of them's right there, and three 432s. I got one here, and one here. I've also got some 800 series, and yeah, I've had several 8000 series too. Most of them are pretty much the same. The only difference is pretty much transmission from the 400 to the 800 and whatnot. I mean, they changed the frame up a little bit, but the basic design's all the same. So let's get into what you should be looking for. To start with, obviously, don't do what I do. Keep your hood on. With the hood off, and this one's actually fairly solid. This is the most solid dash I've ever seen in my whole life. But the dash will wiggle back and forth, and you see that changes the angle of the steering, and it will mess up your steering gears and stuff down in there. Steering in this tractor is really tight as far as the 400 series Gravely's go. Keep your hood on, guys, or do what I did on the 430. Measure from here to here on your hood and just make a bracket that bolts in there, and that holds the dash in place permanent like. I did that on this tractor because there's no accessibility to get to the battery with the hood on, and the wiring in this thing is kind of sketchy, so I didn't want it always hooked up. So the hood's sitting right there beside it, but I don't leave it on. So that's the number one thing that everybody will tell you to watch out for, and yeah, they're not lying. You should keep an eye on that. So, of course, there's grease zerks all over the tractor. Depending on what attachments you have on the deck, you probably have to remove these. Most of my decks just never have these on them. But each spindle has a grease zerk, and there's grease zerks in the drive shaft. I actually don't see one on this particular U-joint, so that one doesn't have one. There is one right here. Make sure to keep that greased. Yeah, see, this has a lot of play. That's not good. I know the front U-joint has one. I don't know if I'll be able to get you guys in there to see it. I'm not going to be able to, no. Of course, make sure to keep your lubrication good in the gearbox. Got grease zerks on the front for both spindles. And most of the wheels don't have grease zerks. They're just a packed bearing. You know, you're supposed to take the wheel off and repack them every so often. So that's something that definitely always gets neglected. I mean, there's not really a lot of grease zerks on stuff like the clutch and stuff like that. And mine has the wrong seat, but otherwise this little rod comes up and goes in that hole. But since mine has the wrong seat, I'm just kind of setting it right there in between them bolts. This is your transmission oil dipstick. It should be full. Mine is not. I just got this tractor. I'm still working on getting it serviced up. This is your engine oil dipstick. It should also be full. Mine is, because I just changed the oil in it yesterday. Of course, unless you've got the Warblow carb, you got high idle adjustment and low idle adjustment. Your coil. They have the condenser mounted here. People mount it all over the place, but it's just a little round canister looking thing. Breaker points are Down here under this cover, this is your governor arm. Got your linkage. It goes all over the place here. This is the choke on here. This is your throttle on your carb. Of course, starter's down over here. It's easily accessible. Most of them have this rear light on the back of the engine. This from the factory would have just had a straight piece of line. I actually have it right here. But I always put a fuel shutoff and filter in line. This is what your spark plug looks like. This one's fairly rough. I replaced it yesterday when I did a tune-up. These are the points that will be under that cover. You adjust them by loosening that screw, and they have to be on the engine. You turn the engine until they open, you loosen this screw, and then you adjust them to 20 thousandths, tighten it back up. This is the old condenser. So, of course, your plug goes in the top of the head, plug wire goes on that. Over here is your first and second, or high-low clutch. On here it's first and second. Some people call it different things. Over here, this one is your forward and reverse clutch. Hey guys, I just was sitting over there editing and I realized I never showed you guys how to adjust the clutch. This is the forward and reverse clutch right here. So you've got this long piece of all thread that goes through here, one on the top, one on the bottom. You've got double nuts back here and double back here. So the way to adjust the clutch is you loosen these two nuts and bring them this way to tighten the clutch, or that way away from this to loosen the clutch. Not that you'd really want to loosen it. You should have a little bit of play. You see, you don't want it to be super tight, and you just tighten it up until it's where you think it needs to be. And if your clutch slips, you tighten it up more. If it's too tight to engage or disengage, you loosen it up some. You don't really ever have to touch these. That just kind of holds it from going too far when you engage it. I just engaged the clutch. You see these are up against. If you run these down, the clutch won't engage all the way. So you've got to leave those out. They're pretty much just a stopper to keep the all thread from pulling down out. But yeah, these nuts down here are to adjust the clutch, not these ones here. It's the same for forward and reverse clutch, and also the high, or the 1-2 on the other side. And then right here that you can kind of see, that is your high-low. And if it still has it, this just clips into that where it's supposed to. Unless your tractor is an early one, 67, and I think maybe 68 also. Your PTO forward is off. Pull it back, PTO's on. This here, you got second gear, first gear. This is ground speed, but it also controls the speed of your PTO. Over here is your high-low. This is ground speed only. Forward is high, backwards is low. This one here, you can shift it while you're moving. It's clutch engaged, not gear drive engaged like this one. So when you're doing this, go in slowly-ish if you're moving something, because this is a clutch forward and backward just like your drive clutch. Also, like I said, it changes the speed of your PTO. So yeah, if you're back here and you need to speed up, especially if you're running an attachment, I always stop when I'm running an attachment, but supposedly you don't have to. But pop it out and then go slow in. Puts less load on everything. And then if you're downshifting with an attachment, I always pop it out, wait a minute for the attachment to slow down, and then pop it in. I always leave this one in neutral, also just force of habit. Over here you've got the clutch. Forward is driving forward, in the middle is neutral, and back is driving backwards. For the dash, we got, most of them have cigarette lighter, light switch, choke, throttle, and mine's not correct. Somebody put a switch and a button in here. It should just have a key switch. The 67s did have a on-off key switch and a push button start. I'll show you that on my 430 here in a minute. You got, for a 400 series, a brake on each side. This brake stops this tire, and this brake stops this tire. That way you can turn and pivot as you need to. Coming back to the engine compartment and transmission again, you see that little rod up right there. That's your PTO engage. That's what that lever moves. For filling your oil, you fill the engine through the dipstick, and this plug pulls out, and that's how you fill the transmission. Some of them have these springs for lifting. To remove these, you should pick the deck up, and then you just pull this up, and you see how that releases it. So those are fairly simple. This is where you would put this for a front drive kit spring. Of course, you got 3 headlight bulbs in here. Gas tank sits up front. 5.3 gallons is what this holds. To adjust your deck height without adjusting the deck here, with the lever up, you pick up on this and you can slide it in or pull it out, and it just catches. It's got little teeth on the bottom of it, so that's fairly simple and easy to adjust anytime right there. Like I said, this is not the correct seat. Somebody put this on here, but that's what I have here. Let's go look at the 430. Alright, this is my 430. It's a 1967. So like I was saying, it's got the key switch that's on off, and then a push button start. Same location for the headlights. Got a cigarette lighter down here. Choke on this side, throttle over here. The 67s had the gas tank in the back, and I think it was slightly less that it held, but I don't remember right offhand. The batteries just switched locations. On the newer one, the battery's back here. Same arrangement. You got engine dipstick, trans dipstick, and trans fill is up there. Can't see it because of the toolbox. These should all have a toolbox in it. See, there's transfill. A lot of them are missing. This has the rod to hold the hood up. Mine doesn't have the holder for it though. But as you see, it looks pretty much the same. The only difference between the two of these tractors, besides year, is engine horsepower. Also, they did switch the PTO. On the 67, back is disengaged and forward is engaged. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same. I have a front drive kit on this tractor with a brush hog. This gearbox is supposed to be oil filled. Most of the seals in the bottom leak, so most guys just take this nut off, fill it up with grease, and you can't mow forever with that. You can get, I don't know, maybe 5 hours of mowing pretty hard, and I like to fill them back up. The seals will still leak out a little bit every time you start the mower. On the brush hog, there's a grease fitting here. None for the front drive kit. You got a grease fitting here. Got a grease fitting here. This U-joint doesn't have grease fittings. Some of them have a grease zerk if I can get you there, on the bottom of the axle. And yeah, like I said, same lift situation on these. Here you can see the wheel without the weight on it. These tractors had 16 658s on the front and 23 850/12 tires on the back. My headlights are all, shot. You see I've still got both of the spring holders on here. These tractors are negative ground, and they take 1.5 quarts roughly of straight 30 engine oil is what they're supposed to have in them. I always fill them a little over full because they do not have an oil pump, and so it doesn't hurt it to be a little over full. I'm not talking like an inch on the dipstick. I'm talking, just a little bit. But I always like to have it just a little over full because these tractors are old. The engines have lots of hours more than likely, and so they might burn oil and you might not know it if it's new to you. But yeah, they're fairly easy and simple to work on and work with. You got your flagpole lift arm is what this one here is called for the front drive. And then of course, front drive shaft goes back to the PTO. Same brake situation on these. The differences between these tractors are engines. The 424, you could have a Onan, 10 horse Onan, or 10 horse Kohler, and I think the 67s, some of them had an 8 horse Kohler on them. The 430s, to my knowledge, all had the Kohler K301 12 horse single cylinder engine on it. I don't think I've ever seen an Onan one. The Onan engines aren't as good, so try to avoid those anyway. The 432s, every single one of them had a 14 horse Kohler, which is a K341. That is why this is my favorite one. I love the 14 horse Kohler. It's a great engine, reliable, has lots of power. If you haven't seen the video on getting this running, doing some mowing with it the other day, make sure to check that out. You'll see, got lots of power. The 450 Gravely, I had one that was my first Gravely, but I sold it because I didn't like it. It has a CCKA 16 horse, technically a 16.5 horse twin cylinder Onan. Again, Onans aren't the great motors. I don't like them, so I got rid of it. I try to stick with the Kohlers, but they do have good power when you can get them to run right. They're just a pain in the butt. You can't find parts for them, so they're expensive and not reliable. But yeah, I mean, if you have any other questions, if I missed anything, let me know. I can't really think of anything else that I could show you. For adjusting the deck, you pick it up obviously, and then you pull this lever up, and you can just turn this and put it in any of these notches for your height, for the scalping wheels or non-scalping wheels. Yeah, I mean, let me know if you guys want a video showing how to disconnect and reconnect the mower deck or anything like that. If you do, I'll try and get one of those out to you. But otherwise, I think that's going to be it for this video. It's already fairly long. So if it helped you, drop a comment down below, let me know. If you have any other questions, of course, always comment, let me know. I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. And I just thought of something else I can show you guys. Air filters in here. Just take this wing nut off. It's just a round air filter. Pretty much all the Kohlers had the same one from 75-ish back, 74 maybe, I don't remember. Mid 70s back. So, enough with me getting distracted, I guess. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them. Drop a comment down below, all that happy stuff. And yeah, if you're new here, consider subscribing if you enjoyed it. And please hit the like button. That tells YouTube that I am doing a good job and this is helpful to you, or at least that you're enjoying the videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.